Hey folks, another great question, and it's how do I help designers learn how to do research? And that's a really loaded question because what does it mean? How do I teach them? What does it mean to teach? And what does it mean to do research even? And here I'd go back to the old quote from The Little Prince. If you want people to build a boat, you don't start them up by finding wood and then breaking them into work groups and then having them build a boat. Instead, you start off by having them yearn for the endless sea. And here again, instead of starting off with here are all the premises of research and this is why research is important for you, at a general level, get to know your team and get to know the individual designers. What do they already know about research? What are their experiences? What are their current pain points and opportunities that they see out there? And how can you connect the various types of research that you have at your disposal to bring them on board and help them get those things done and help you help them? I think that it's important to start off with small things that they can't fail but be successful at. So it's very hard to do a bad job at observation if you're one of the second or third observers. You can take some additional notes, you can be part of that recap session. All those things are pretty low risk for the observer. How can they help with the analysis after the fact? How can they help identify questions that are currently missing in the discussion guide after you've done 2 or 3 sessions and help create what that new discussion probe is? Those are types of ways where designers can start getting into research and start feeling confident in their research capabilities without being responsible for the research. And I'd actually say start off with the moderated and low risk moderated activities, then move into unmoderated, and then move back to moderated again, because in switching between the different forms, they'll be able to start to see, oh, I understand why we're asking it this way in unmoderated, because when we ask it in moderated, they can't answer it. So all of those things are going to help them feel more confidence and build their competency here. I would also have you think about if you have to do it in a big group setting, this learning and training, I would think about how can you break out the sessions and have them teach themselves. So do some practice sessions asking people questions and probing and figuring out how you can create that environment for the designers so that they can start to learn. And finally, I'd say remember that in many cases there's no one right way to do research. That when we're doing research, we're choosing between a variety of different tool sets. We always have a different way that we could have asked the question. We always could have had a different approach. So when you're working with designers, make sure that you explain to them why you chose a certain thing. And if you have horror stories about I've tried this way in the past and it really didn't work, so that's why we're not doing it again. Horror stories are a way that people remember. And so if you can tell any personal stories that make research more accessible, make it more evident that there are lots of ways to recover when you've made a bad research decision, I think that also helps the designers feel confident when you start to ask them, and did you have any other questions, note taker? But yeah, I think that this is a place where remember, start small, give them lots of easy wins, and then start to build on the pieces. Don't start off with the big, this is what research is, because it's a lot to take on, and then it becomes academic, and can they really use that in their day-to-day? It's more important, especially as adults, for us to be using the tools that we're supposed to be learning. Use them quickly and on a regular basis instead of having this big session and then be expected to remember it 2 months later. Nobody's going to do that. So anyways, thank you again for the question. Have a great day and take care. Bye.